Your worship ministry isn't under attack. It's just unorganized. You know, sometimes we like to blame the enemy when things feel heavy in ministry, but the chaos that we're facing isn't always spiritual warfare. It's just a lack of structure. The frustration, the inconsistency, the lack of communication, that all happens when our worship teams don't have the systems to support it. So let's talk about why processes matter more than you think. We've normalized stress in ministry, and we've made chaos and lack of clarity a part of the culture. But hear me, confusion is a sign of misalignment. When people don't know what to expect, chaos. When communication is inconsistent, chaos. When processes change every single week, chaos. When onboarding is unclear, chaos. When feedback never happens, chaos. And when worship vocalists and musicians are scrambling on Sunday, chaos. Now, I'm not saying that to make anyone feel bad because I'm talking to myself. This was me for many years. I felt like I was always putting fires out. I was always having to explain myself because I didn't have good processes and systems in place. And I want to show you how God can actually move through structure. Now, some people get a little weird when you talk about structure because it feels unspiritual. And I know it's not the coolest thing to talk about. People would rather watch a video on the greatest pedals for their guitar or how to sing harmony or vocal technique. But you can have all the skill in the world. You can have the greatest gifted musicians and know all the greatest gear. And if you don't have structures and processes in place, it's not going to be sustainable. You're going to have people that fall through the cracks, team members that are frustrated, that don't even really know why they're there. So that's why structure is so important. We serve a God who is the most detailed, strategic, intentional being in the universe. Creation had order. The tabernacle had measurements. The priesthood had procedures. Solomon's temple had structure. Even Jesus discipled through rhythm and process. If God uses structure to carry his glory, why would we think that worship ministry can just run on vibes and hope? Structure doesn't limit the Spirit of God. It actually protects the ministry from unnecessary distraction. It helps you care for the people that God has entrusted to you. Now, before we go any further, I want to clear up some myths because these are what stop worship leaders and teams from building structure more than anything else. Myth number 1, processes and systems limit creativity and freedom. Here's the truth. Yes, poorly designed processes can feel restrictive, but when you have thought out processes that are intentional, they're actually going to free you up to have more creativity and spontaneity. Myth number 2, processes and systems are burdensome and slow. Here's the truth. Processes are not red tape. They actually are effective in helping you streamline your operations, your administration. They reduce the time that you're going to spend fixing preventable issues over and over, and they help you get something done right the first time. Are you looking for a place where you can find real community with other worship leaders? A place where you can celebrate wins, encourage each other, and ask the hard questions that everyone faces in ministry? Well, that place is the Worship Life Collective, a free worship community on School for worship pastors, directors, and leaders. Find everything a worship leader needs without the chaos and randomness of Facebook groups. Inside, you'll find a community of worshipers just like you, with real questions and answers and insight to help you with the ins and outs of ministry. Also, there's a classroom with lots of resources by topic, including a vocal gargle recipe, vocal health and technique videos that will help you grow in skill. We also have monthly calls where we get together and we share what God's doing in each other's lives, Q&A, or bring in special guest experts. So come be a part of the Worship Life Collective, where we equip and empower you to lead boldly and passionately so people can experience the presence of God. Myth number 3, processes and systems are only for large churches. This is one that I hear a lot, and here's the truth. It does not matter the size of your church. Processes can help any size team. function better, operate more smoothly, and prepare for growth. So it doesn't matter if you have 5 volunteers or 500 volunteers. Processes are going to help you steward the people that you have. And we should want to grow, right? We want our teams to grow. We want to invite more people to come be a part and use their gifts for the kingdom. So you need to have processes in place because that shows the people that you care for them. You care about stewarding their time and their gifts. Myth number 4, processes and systems make ministry feel impersonal. But here's the truth. When implemented with intention, processes can actually bring a personal touch to ministry. It ensures that every team member is receiving care and clarity and support that they need instead of slipping through the cracks. So take your onboarding process, for instance. If everyone has to go through the same process, no matter what, then that sends a message and it communicates care to the people who want to serve on the worship team. It doesn't matter if this person has 5 albums or they've written songs or they know the worship pastor personally or they're a family member. Everyone goes through the same process no matter what. That sends a huge message instead of favoritism or letting someone get on the team and bypass the process. No, there's a process in place. Everyone goes through it. And that sends a powerful message. You have to remember that in ministry, processes are not about legalism, they're not about perfection, and they're not about control. Processes are about clarity, stewardship, unity, care, consistency, spiritual health, and long-term sustainability. Your worship ministry will never grow beyond the systems that support it. The calling on your life is real. The anointing on your gift is real. And the vision for the ministry is real. But even the most spirit-filled calling needs a container to carry it. Now, you may be saying, I don't even know what processes or systems you would even use for worship ministry. But it's going to look like, what is your process for someone in the congregation who has an interest in worship ministry? Where do they go first? What is step 1? Do you have a process for that? Do you have different avenues and ways that people can evaluate and show interest, whether that's through a membership class or a social media post or an announcement from the platform? How do people get involved in the worship ministry? And then what is the process from there? What's the evaluation or audition process look like? Is that all thought through and thought out so that it makes people feel comfortable and feel welcome and calms their nerves? And then if they make the team, is there a process after that? Is there a coaching or development process? Is there a shadowing process where people can come and watch a rehearsal or watch a Sunday morning and what it looks like to be on the team, a peek behind the curtain? Do you have a process for people who want to lead moments vocally and lead songs? Do you have a development plan and path for people to grow in their skill? What does feedback look like for your team? Do you have specific feedback loops that give people opportunity to assess themselves and for you to assess them so that they can get better in their skill? Do you have processes for community and gathering your team together and building relationships with one another? There are lots of processes and systems that you can use for worship ministry to help things go smoothly and to help bring clarity to people who want to be involved on the team and to people who are already a part of your team. So if ministry feels chaotic, Sundays feel heavier than they should, your team is gifted, but they're inconsistent, you're not necessarily under attack. You might just be unorganized. And the good news, you can fix that one intentional decision at a time. If this video helped you, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, and let me know in the comments which part hit the hardest for you. And if you need help building healthy processes for your worship team or your production team, there's a link in the description to my free community, and I'll let you know how we can work together. I would love for you to come be a part where we have worship and tech leaders from all over the world, and where I will help you lead with clarity and lead with purpose, where you can ask questions. We have monthly calls. There's a classroom full of resources. Don't do ministry alone. Come join the Worship Life Collective. I'll see you in the next video.